Place, Rhode Island's #1 stop for amazing food, drinks, and live entertainment. Dan's Place offers a fantastic selection of unique menu items, including pizzas, pasta, steaks, and seafood. Here's what our customers have to say: a masterpiece on a crust. Watch your favorite New England teams on one of Dan's 4 big screen TVs. Looking for a great place to meet? Try Dan's Place.
I'm Dan from Dan's Place, where your only regret is not coming in sooner.
Hi everybody, and welcome to yet another edition of Settling the Score. John Parenti, John Boots, and the guy to my left, your immediate right, is the head coach of the West Warwick Tollgate Girls Softball Co-op, Brian Palazzo, making his streaming debut. That's why I brought the glasses. What's up, B?
Not too much. Ready for the opener today.
West Warwick, Cranston West, West Warwick Tollgate versus Cranston. It's going to take me a while to transition into that, but let's talk about the...
We're actually going by Kent County, if that makes it easier for you.
It does.
Yeah.
Is that the uniforms you're going to say?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So
like
Kent County, and then we just merged the two mascots, Wizard Titans.
So no Twizzards or anything?
Nah, the girls have said that a few times, but nah, it's that one doesn't fly.
Let's talk about the dynamics of the co-op, how it happened, who's involved, the whole 9 yards.
It actually started last spring. You know, we were making our run towards a state championship, and the coaching staff kind of talked about, well, we're focused on this year, but what's going to happen next year? We only had 6 or 7 returning players, and there was only 2 8th graders on the middle school team, so we knew that our numbers were going to be a problem. And it was just something that we kind of talked about in the background as the season was progressing. And then we actually played Tollgate towards the end. That was one of the teams that we had thrown out as a possible team that we could merge with. And before the Tollgate game right here, I talked to Shayna and I said, listen, this is a situation we're in next year. Is there any opportunity or chance that we could maybe merge with you? And she goes, there might be. She says, we're probably only going to have about 12 or 13. So if you're only bringing 6 or 7, the numbers could probably work. But she said, can we put it to bed and discuss it over the summer? So that's what happened at that point. Over the summer, we touched base here and there. Then the league has a deadline of October 1st if you're going to do any co-oping for the spring season. So in September, things kind of really ramped up. And it's funny because at that time, like the numbers I said to you, we were looking at probably like 19, with them bringing about 12 or 13 to the table. And here we are today. We have 16 players. There's 8 Tollgate and 8 West Warwick. So neither one of us would have had a team if we hadn't done this.
Well, that's ideal.
Yeah.
How do the girls feel about it?
They like it. It's almost been like an instant blend. The 2 teams came together right away. Everybody seems to be getting along. Practices were a little bit different the first few days because it was more of kind of the break in the ice, getting to know you type things. But they meshed seamlessly. It's been a good mix right now.
Did you practice indoors here at the complex?
No, we were in the Tollgate. Tollgate has 2 gyms, and we were in one of the 2 gyms. It was just easier than trying to arrange time in the complex. So, and that worked in our favor too, because we were able to practice every day after school in Tollgate's gym. If I was going to the complex, we would have been doing like 4 o'clock practices. So having them, and they have a really nice facility. I'd never been in there. They have 2 gyms. Their upper gym is to me like a hitting tunnel. They have 2 cages that come down from the ceiling, so we've done a lot of hitting work inside there. But plus you can bring the cages up and get any kind of defensive work done. And we've been inside a lot. I think, I didn't do the math. I would say this is probably like a 5th or 6th day outside, as crazy as that sounds.
It doesn't sound crazy. I mean, the boys are out here, I think, for the 3rd time.
Yeah.
And it feels not even ready for playing yet.
Yeah, and 3, so 5th or 6th, probably our 6th day outside, 3 of the days were scrimmages. So to me, those aren't really productive days. You get to see a little bit here and there, but you're not working on your cutoffs, your bunt coverages, things like that. So I'd rather just practice outside.
Play well enough here? Does this field play ready?
Yeah, we played on it last week against Johnston in the scrimmage. I know that it took a beating with the rain at the end of last week, but it should be fine.
Oh, the home game's going to be here?
Everything will be here, which makes it easier for them too. They used to play at Winslow Park, so they would have
to drive.
Yeah, they would drive across the city of Warwick. Now they just come right down Tollgate Road. So there's a lot of positives for everybody. And like I said, the crazy thing is that neither one of us would have had a team if we hadn't done this.
You bring back 6 or 7 but they're 6 or 7 quality players. Let's talk personnel for a while. Your own first.
Yeah, so the West Warwick side, I mean, we'll starting in the circle. You got Bryce Principe, who pitched us to a state championship last year, the state championship game, and now she's a junior, so she's got another year under her belt, more experienced. She looks really well. She's pitching really well right now in practices. She's looked good in the scrimmages. And we've kind of kept her innings down in the scrimmages because, once again, we know that she's going to kind of shoulder the load. But this year she does have, Tollgate does bring 3 girls that can pitch onto the roster, so that's going to help us a little bit too. Bryce pitched every inning but 1 last year, so I think she will get a little bit of help this year, where she may not be as drained when the playoffs roll around. Now you got Grace Gallows back, one of our top hitters last year. She's actually moving over from second base to shortstop because we had a hole there to take care of. Charlotte Horak, who can catch and play first. She's going to be at first base for us this year.
It's like being at Fenway Park doing a talk show. Just let everything happen.
A little bit of realism.
That's right. That's all that matters.
Then Sarah Payan, who was our center fielder last year, is actually going to move over to left field, which is going to make her. She was a solid defensive player for us last year, but I think she's going to be even better being in the corner there, the shorter throws, because Tollgate brings Reagan Mata, who's been their center fielder for 3 years now, ours in their 4th year, and she's an all-division, borderline all-state player.
You also have the Eddy sisters.
Yeah, and so Aria Eddy is one of the pitchers that'll back up Bryce, and then Addie Eddy, who's going to be our second baseman. They're both solid players.
The games that we saw in the basketball season.
Yeah, exactly. What about the coaching staff? Bringing their coaching staff over, meshing both coaching staffs, different coaching styles?
Now, Shayna and I are pretty much on the same page with things. It's actually just Shayna.
Sure.
Her assistant, for medical reasons, wasn't able to do it this year.
Sure.
And because of the co-op, they didn't feel the need to post that position again. And so it's basically 3 West Warwick coaches from that you saw last year, and then Shayna. But yeah, that's gone well. We did have some bumps in the road when the scrimmages started, and we saw how people were kind of handling different things, but I feel like we ironed that out. We had a pretty good meeting as a coaching staff last Saturday to talk about what everybody's role is, especially in game situation, because it was one thing to go to a practice and everybody kind of knows what I'm going to work with this group of girls, you're going to work with that group of girls, but when the game actually happened, we hadn't kind of discussed that. So we kind of saw that on the fly. So that's where the scrimmages are really beneficial, in my opinion. And we ironed out a lot last Saturday, and this past week has gone really well. So
there are a lot of bumps when you bring in a co-op in the first season, iron and all that, especially for the first time.
Yeah, and especially, and I get it. When we kind of started talking in the meeting and you started seeing other people's point of view, and I get it because I'm in those shoes. I mean, this is my 23rd year. Shane has probably been doing this 24 or 25 years. So you've been running the ship for almost a quarter of a decade, and now all of a sudden you got all these other people involved that you never worked with before, you never dealt with before. So those was kind of the things that we had to iron out, and I think we did. I mean, we'll see as these games pick up, today, and then we got 3 next week, so we'll have a pretty good idea how things are moving along by next Friday.
Today you have Cranston West, PJ Bassett's been doing it for about 150 years.
Yeah.
But their own was lost to Charahoe yesterday, their opener. Does it mean a lot to you that they actually going to jump on you with a full competitive game going into today?
I thought about that this morning. The one advantage I feel like they're going to have on us is we've played 3 scrimmages. That means nothing. It's when you put the uniform on, there's those first game jitters. So we got to get through that a little quicker than you normally would, because we're not playing a team that's playing their first game today too and has those same first game jitters. So that's going to be the key. Right now, in my head, we've got to get the 3 outs in the top of the first as quickly as possible, get back in, and then everybody will probably take a breath, and then I feel like we're on even footing at that point. But yeah, do they have a little bit of advantage? To me, it's just that they didn't score any runs yesterday, so they could probably be pressing at the plate. But I know they don't have those first game jitters that I think we're going to have.
As long as I've known you, I've never asked you this question. How hard was it for you to make a transition from baseball player to softball coach?
it really wasn't that difficult because the softball plays a lot like baseball would, and baseball's kind of evolved. I don't know if I could coach baseball right now because baseball's evolved into like you either hit a home run or you strike out. And where this reminds me more of the baseball that when I played for you and back in the day, where you're trying to scratch out a run or two, and I've always enjoyed that. So when I got into teaching, that's how I got into coaching. And I actually started coaching this at softball at Pilgrim for Kenny Ricks. He was the one that took me in, and I just fell in love with the sport because how quickly it went. The other thing I was thinking, I'm like, if I was coaching baseball right now, I'd be out in the freezing cold for 4 hours. These games are always done 2 hours or even less if you get a real pitcher's duel, and just the strategy is like constant in this sport. So at the time, did I miss baseball? Maybe a little bit, but now that I look at how the two sports have kind of evolved, to me this is more like the baseball that we grew up with.
How important is pitching in fast pitch softball?
I mean, it's everything.
You go back to St. Ray's last year.
Yeah. Last year we had probably the best offense in Division II, and I mean, look where it got us. It got us as far as it did, but it didn't put us over the hump. So it comes down to pitching. You've got to have quality pitching, and the pitching's got to stay consistent and really step up in those final games when you're probably still facing the team that can hit too, because St. Ray's had a good offense, and that she won a lot of games 3-0, 3-1, but they were able to put 3 or 4 runs on the board. And if she can hold, you get a pitcher that can hold a team to 0-1 like that, they're going to win a lot of games.
You don't have to worry about that this year.
No, they moved up, so that they did us a favor.
That helps a little bit.
Yeah, it made Division II wide open, in my opinion. You got a good 4 or 5 teams that you could flip a coin and say that they're going to win the D2 championship.
Who else is in?
Well, Portsmouth is returning basically everybody. They lost Mary Rainey was the pitcher last year, their number 1, but they could still have Ruggieri was their number 2, who was to me just as good as Rainey. And then they have the rest of the team back. So if I had to put on a target on anybody, to me it's Portsmouth. But then you got Johnston has the 2 Boudreaux sisters. They're going to be back there.
They're both back.
They're both back, really?
Yeah. So the pitcher's a senior and the catcher's a junior. So they have the 2 of them. They still have a good shortstop, solid center fielder. So and that goes back to what we just talked about. When you have a pitcher like that, she's going to keep them in every game. So even though their offense might be a little weaker than the rest of the division, they're going to score. If they score 2-3 runs, they've got a chance to win every one of those games. East Greenwich is going to be really good. They made it to the final 6 last year. They ended up getting knocked out by Portsmouth. So that's another solid team. And I think I'm probably forgetting another one. But those Portsmouth, East Greenwich, Johnston, us, like I said, you could flip a coin for any of us.
Are we seeing a different West Warwick team? Again, a different Kate County team this year with the loss of Adriana Cassetti and Walsh and the rest of them. I mean, you had some people that could poke the ball last year.
Yeah, so the philosophy has changed, which actually plays a little bit into where Shayna will be helpful. Shayna likes the small ball. Even though I talked about I enjoy this sport because you can bunt for a run. It's as a coach, when you're standing at third base, it's a lot easier to know that if you don't get a bunt down and you got a home run hitter sitting behind her, you might still be all right. And yeah, that's one of the things we got to adjust a little bit to more of a small ball bunting, stealing type thing. Where last year, like you said, we had Ali Ainati, Adriana Cassetti, Maddie Walsh. They could put the ball out of the pocket at any time. And so if an inning looked like it was going in the wrong direction, it could turn on a dime. We don't really have that this year.
I'm taking this all in.
I was just waking you up.
No, I'm fine. I'm actually enjoying this. I'm getting an education because we just jumped right in. I mean, you've been around the sport a while. I just jumped right in last year doing these games and getting an education on how. And I do find it fascinating that the girls' fast pitch softball is so much quicker, so much more excitement. I find doing the game, especially that Johnston game last year, it was a lot more exciting than sitting there. Literally, nothing against the baseball because I love baseball, but just to see the girls play, it's just such fast-paced and more exciting than sitting there for 4 hours.
Yeah, it's true.
And it's true. It's just a different aspect. And I thoroughly enjoy watching college fast pitch softball when ESPN does their their tournaments and the championships. It's fun. It's fun to watch. So I thoroughly enjoy it. And I say this to them all the time. I'd rather do softball right now than baseball.
Yeah, it's true. Like I said, the game's 2 hours or less, but in like every pitch is like an important pitch.
The girls have so much energy, more so than the boys.
Yeah.
They really do. It's just fun to watch.
How much does Warwick Youth Softball and the West Warwick Youth Softball League come into play for you?
Well, Warwick has always been kind of our feeder. West Warwick is now starting to become a feeder system for us, but Warwick with the Apponaug system, I remember when I first started coaching, that's where, when I first started coaching, I didn't know much about the younger leagues and everything. I just knew the high school, the team I was coaching and the teams that we played. But they were all Apponaug. Everything was always Apponaug. So Apponaug has been huge for us from the time I started coaching. In the last 5, 6, 7 years, this West Warwick League has kind of picked back up because they went through a period of decline with their numbers and everything, and really weren't sending anything to me. But now they've picked back up, and it's important. I mean, the girls need to play, first off, beyond the school year, and then just to get, learn the basics here, but then play in travel tournaments and start getting into bigger games, bigger situations. It helps grow the numbers, but at the same time, I feel like the numbers have been a little bit stagnant the last few years. Like you see with my team right now, the girls are into it at that age. It's how do we keep them kind of going? The numbers aren't seeming to continue as they get into high school. That's the one thing we got to kind of figure out is what's drawing them away when they get to this point.
What other teams are there around here? I mean, you hear a lot about the boys' travel teams, AAU, that sort of stuff. What other teams are there for our viewers and our listeners that may not know for girls? What are they? What are out there?
There's tons of travel teams.
Is there?
Yeah, there's. I could go on and
It's basically got to get into the softball family to start figuring out where you want to go, where you want to try out, where you want your girls to try out for, and who you want them coached by.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
I actually used to umpire, and I couldn't believe like all the teams. But the problem is there's almost too many teams. So now you got girls that are still kind of continuing on, which isn't a bad thing. But they also don't realize that they may not be at the same level as some other girls, and I think that's part of it. Then they come to tryouts at high school and they realize, wait a minute, now I'm not at the same level as player X, Y, and Z. Maybe this isn't for me anymore. So we have girls that show up the first day or two, then don't say anything to us and they're gone. So that's one of the only bad aspects about the travel. I feel like a parent or whatever can put together a team on a dime, and then it's like, what are the reasons behind putting it together? Are they really trying to develop players? Or are they trying to kind of push their daughters along, their daughters' friends along?
Give them a place to play.
Yeah. So that's the only bad thing with the travel system. Where at least here, a league like this, it's more about development. Get the girls to enjoy the game, love playing the game, and then see where it goes from there.
Yeah, you can go over to Coventry Girls Softball headquarters. Down by the old Maple Root Inn, down by Mr. J's, etc. Or you go to Winslow where they have like 4 or 5 fields and they're always used up on the weekends, and you come here. And like we speak to Jay LaCroix often.
Oh yeah, he's always out and about.
You get kids like crazy. So I think it's a little bit better looking into the future at softball than it is coming here and seeing an empty field on Ray Silva Field for Babe Ruth, or coming over here to the Bambino League, which is watered down to fewer teams. I think softball's looking a little bit brighter.
Yeah, like you said, definitely with the youth leagues and everything. But even with baseball, I mean, I'm going to be into it at some point. My 2 kids are both huge into baseball, 8 and 6 years old, but it kills me when I see, like you said, like Ray Silva Field. I think back to when I was playing, and we used to have 6, 7 teams in the Babe Ruth League, and then there was the 13-year-old league, which was like the intro to the Babe Ruth League, and we still had another 4 or 5 there, and now that doesn't exist. But that goes back to what we were just talking about with the travel. I feel like everybody's into this travel now, and they just create a team, pull kids away because the commitment becomes too much if they want to play for a town league and travel at the same time. and back to my kids, they had their first Little League practice last night, and the coach was kind of explaining how things work and everything. And he said, like, the weekends, they don't have like games on the weekends because kids at that level now are all playing travel, and they're often tournaments on weekends. So that's the only thing. Like, that the travel, I feel, is kind of really disrupting the core town players staying together and playing through a league like that.
Well, I talk a little bit of philosophy about that because I've always contended that those who play travel ball are interested in me, improving my game, and that team aspect takes a back seat. Whereas you remember in American Legion where we were always team first, and obviously you worked on your own game and you tried to be as good as you possibly could. But when you got into the situation, that team element just was always there, as opposed to travel ball now, where I really don't see it as often.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's the travel. You're bringing kids in from wherever. You just each team, and I get it. They want to win, so each team is trying to bring in the best players possible. They don't care where these kids come from. Now you're just trying to mesh them together for a short period of time. And you're right. There's not that camaraderie that we had like with Post 2, and we stayed together for a couple of years, and so even though we had players on your team that were from Coventry, East Greenwich, West Warwick, when we came back together, we were like that team family unit, and I think that makes a big difference. I don't think we go as far as we did back in '91 without the players really enjoying being around each other every day and winning games for each other.
Having gone through that experience and then going through this experience now, do you carry any of that over? Are girls more personable to get along the way that we did back in '91?
Yeah, and it's funny you're bringing this up because I've thought back to those years, and that's as we merge these two groups together, and they all knew each other obviously because they played against each other, West Warwick and Tollgate, but they also played each other in the travel circuit like we're talking about. But yeah, this group of girls seems to really get along. They enjoy being around each other. They did a cellos night one night last week. Yesterday they did media.
Hey, we didn't get invited.
Yeah, sorry about that. I wasn't there for it either. Didn't even know anything about it. But that's good. I like when they do those kind of stuff behind the scenes. And yesterday they did a media day. I didn't even know they were doing that until
Didn't get invited to that either.
No, that would have been us. Yeah, we should have been there for media day. That should have been a good thing.
Media day is just all
Two
pictures.
strikes on Brian Palazzo right now.
But
lot of pictures.
Media day makes me laugh. It's just all it is pictures. They just take pictures in all different poses and everything else. But again, like they were all excited for that, and they were all all
That is
into it.
pretty cool.
Yeah. So again, like you can see that they enjoy being around each other already this early in the season, which is a good thing. It's like I just said to you, that'll take us far.
How you doing?
It's good.
Everything well?
Everything's good.
Just doing a talk show. Don't worry about it. Live.
All right.
Just doing a live talk show here.
Just
People
the,
just walk right up, start talking. It's not a big deal.
You played against him.
Don't worry, ground crew.
No.
Yeah, that's
Look, we do
Nevaeh
TV,
de
that
Costa.
doesn't change,
All
right?
right.
I'm familiar with Nevaeh through local ball.
Yeah.
Playing over in Warwick for a while. Mike actually played for the St. Race team way back when.
All right.
He's about 5 or 6 inches taller than you, which would have helped you in your playing days. But we'll take him for that at some point. So you get Cranston West today.
Yeah.
The game that we'll be carrying live very shortly.
Yep, we're going to be on 3,
And
2, 1.
And then
Lincoln
you-
on Monday, which when I was talking about the teams, that's a team that is going to probably surprise a lot of people, and it's a game that worries me a little bit. So it's our first D2 opponent Monday. They brought up a pitcher from Girl Left LaSalle. So they have a legitimate pitchers this year, and last year I thought their offense was pretty solid. They if you watch their games last year, they had games where they had runners on bases all game long and somehow only wound up with 3 or 4 runs. So a key hit here or there in their season is a little bit different last year, and now they have a real quality pitcher. So yeah, Lincoln on Monday, and then Situate on Wednesday, another D2 opponent, and then we're back to the D1 ranks with Westerly on Friday.
Seems like every battle is going to be a battle.
Yeah, it's a bear of a schedule. One thing that I wouldn't have done this to this team last year when we set up our schedule, the Interscholastic, I will go to my grave saying this, they never said anything about that we were locked into the schedule for 2 years. So I set up a schedule last year that was going to benefit the team of last year. They were going to be battle tested and ready when the playoffs started, and it proved out to be exactly what I thought it would be. We don't get as far as we do last year without having played tough opponents all season long. But then this season rolled in, and the league rolled out our schedule, and they already had all those games on there again. And I'm saying, why are these D1 games on our schedule? I haven't even talked to any of these coaches or anything like that. And then they kind of backtracked, in my opinion, and said, you got locked into those games last year. It was a 2-year commitment because you play one at home and one away. Who cares about that? We have to balance that home and away. If I want to play you this year and I don't want to play you next year, we'll work it out. But so I got locked into all those games again. We played all these teams last year: Cranston West, Lincoln. Lincoln's D2, Cranston West, Westerly, North Kingstown, Coventry, yeah. So now we got the flip side of having to play all them again. It's not that I don't think this team can handle it, but I wouldn't have done that to this team, especially early in the season.
New uniforms, I see.
Even that West Warwick colors, though.
Yeah, so we blended the West Warwick and the Tollgate colors. We have the orange and the navy blue, and then mixed in the white to kind of balance the colors out.
Those sharp.
They do look good. I like the Kent County on the front, too.
It's going to take me a while to transition from West Warwick Tollgate to Kent County. Watch.
It's all right.
I think the only
change either way. You might as well just change to Kent County. You know what I'm saying? So
you can say it either way. Everybody's going to know who you're talking about. But yeah, I just figured make it easier for you.
Very self-conscious. I think the over-under is about 12 today, opening day. Be good luck.
Thank
Have
you.
some fun.
Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
We'll do this again sometime,
As I say, if you want to do something, maybe revisit things, see how things are going in the middle of the season, and then right before the playoffs, whatever.
Absolutely.
I'm here for you guys.
Thanks, Pete.
Thank
Brian
you.
Palazzo, I guess, head coach of the Kent County entry in the Rhode Island Scholastic League. I 1-for-1 officially.
Very good.
Boots
Excellent.
and I'll be back with more to talk about UConn and God knows what else in a moment.
Since 1974, Bill's Place has been serving up great times and unforgettable food. From family celebrations to post-game meals, it's the spot Kent County calls home, right on Main Street in West Warwick. Bill's Place has been part of the community for over 50 years, and it just keeps getting better. Come see what everyone's been raving about. For takeout, call 401-828-2300 or visit us online at billsplaceri.com. Bill's Place, where tradition meets great taste.
I'm Johnny Mack, General Manager here at Sandy Motors, and since 1988 we've been making car buying wicked easy for Rhode Islanders. So come with me and let's go see how wicked easy we make it when car buying. From cars, trucks, and SUVs, Sandy Motors has the selection you want at the price you want. Get approved now and see all our inventory at sandymotors.com. Every vehicle in certified condition for you to drive for many years to come. Sandy Motors, we're making car buying is wicked easy.
Welcome to Dan's Place, Rhode Island's #1 stop for amazing food, drinks, and live entertainment. Dan's Place offers a fantastic selection of unique menu items, including pizzas, pasta, steaks, and seafood. Here's what our customers have to say: a masterpiece on a crust. Watch your favorite New England teams on one of Dan's 4 big screen TVs. Looking for a great place to meet? Try Dan's Place.
I'm Dan from Dan's Place, where your only regret is not coming in sooner.
You may not be able to tell from the outside, but cars are more complicated than ever on the inside. That's why you need to take your car to a place where the technicians really know what they're doing. Our experts have been repairing cars for almost 60 years. From simple brake jobs to complex transmissions. There's nothing the experts at AMCO haven't seen or fixed. That's why we know cars inside and out. AA MCO.
We've told you for years that AJ's Restaurant is Kent County's go-to spot for great breakfast, lunch, and takeout too at 828-4160. And now you'll find more parking, mere steps from the back of the building to AJ's front doors. AJ's. Plenty of those world-famous home fries, plenty of parking, and as always, popular for breakfast, popular for lunch. 1365 Main Street, West Warwick.
Oh, let's go down to Toscanos. Men's shop downtown Westerly, where style and class go hand in hand. You can look your best and dress to please. Buy the right shoe, get the left one free. And if Paulie makes fun of you, you get an even bigger discount too. Toscano's men's shop since 1911.
Welcome back to Settling the Score. Johnny Boots, John Parenti,
Charlie Quirk.
Charlie Quirk behind the camera doing. You know what? We can't ask for. I'm so glad Ben paired Charlie with us for the north part of the state, because we get the best cameraman out there. I'm serious.
Yeah.
When we got here today, obviously it's our first time remote, and I say remote, doing it from a field. Charlie had the whole shot set up ready to go. He said, I know what we're going to do. I said, all I care about, figure it out, is I want the field behind us, so if the girls stop practicing and I just want some action going on behind us, figure it out. And he did, and from what I can see, it looks awesome. Thank you, Charlie. We're very lucky to have him. I don't want to lose him.
Yes, okay.
Yeah. And we introduced him to the River Point Park, since it's his first time here, being from Massachusetts.
Can you imagine the ride coming down and to see us?
No.
Boy, is that a letdown.
That's a big letdown.
All right.
So what? What do you want to start with?
Red Sox got to win. Beat Michael King.
Red Sox got to win. Sonny Gray.
Sonny Gray looks okay.
Yeah, I still think
help.
it's early in the season.
He's a 10, 12 game winner. He'll be fine.
But, you and I both listen to sports talk all over the dial, national, local. Everybody's waving the white flag and getting nervous. 6 games in. But didn't they do this last year?
Yes.
I mean, they didn't stop picking it up. It was like a slow roll, and then they started picking it up in May and June, and then a little letdown in July. We lulled, and then they really started cranking it up in August and made the playoffs. So I'm not really worried about it. This team has to mesh, and just like, to be honest with you, just like the coach said,
Yep.
you got to hit the field. You got to stop playing games. That's when it's going to start to mesh. You can play all these scrimmages you want and all the spring training or whatever you want to call it. I'm not worried. I'm really not worried about this team whatsoever.
Expectations were so high for Roman Anthony. He's the next MVP, he's the next superstar, he's the next Ted Williams.
Get the kid a break.
Pete's sake. He's 21 years old. You know what you and I were doing at 21 years old?
I was riding a fire truck. I know that.
Yeah.
What were you doing?
I was playing around. I was doing this. So, I've done absolutely nothing.
I'm not worried about
with
the Red
with
Sox.
the 50 years that followed.
Yeah.
I'm doing the same damn thing.
Yeah. I kind of am too. But no, I'm not worried about the Red Sox. I don't know about you.
No, I'm not.
I'm not worried
I've
about
seen enough baseball to know you.
No, I was going to say, you've seen more baseball than God. You're right next 1 and 2, I think. You and God.
God sees the Angels.
That's a good one.
Big Angels fan.
Big Angels fan, huh? Great. Wonderful.
But no, it's just...
All right, so we're talking about baseball. You and I talked about this the other day a little bit. The ABS. What do you think of it? We talked about this during the Cranston West game.
You know how
a little
old
bit.
school I am.
I know, and I am too. I don't mind, I don't mind the human element, but now that they've introduced the technology, we're stuck with it.
Yep. And it's not going back.
What do you think of it, though? Are you, in all honesty, I know it's here. So now it's here. What has it proven to you?
Nothing. It proves to me that umpires can't tell between a strike and a pitch that's 1/10 of an inch to the right.
I know, you saw that one too, huh?
Keep the human element. It's ridiculous.
And that's a Bob Costas saying. He always talked about the human element and stuff like that. I remember hearing Bob Costas talk about that back in the day, the human element and things like that. I don't mind the pitch clock when they introduced that.
No.
That was nice. That was just something to keep the game going. Like, it's not 4.5 hour games anymore. You're down to like 3 and under hours. But I don't know, this ABS
the
thing.
ABS is, no.
And that's strategy now.
Oh, God, yes.
It's big
And I'll get to that in a minute. But the one thing I do want to mention, how many times do you hear ABS is powered by Verizon? You don't think they're getting
T-Mobile. It's T-Mobile.
T-Mobile.
If I get T-Mobile, I get MLB for free on my phone.
You don't think they're getting a little bit of shut
Of course
off?
they are. How do you think I get my MLB TV for free every year because of T-Mobile? So God bless T-Mobile. But I know what you're saying. It's just every time they say it, it's
ka-ching is what it is.
Ka-ching. Oh, they've already paid for it. Now it's just them benefiting from it. But I don't know. Where does this lead to? We talked about it briefly the other day. I mentioned it to you. Base
Well, does it
running.
lead to, yeah,
Base running, outside bases, and things
Robert
like that.
roll cameras posted at every base at different angles. Who knows?
Well,
It's overcomplicated. It's ridiculous. Just keep the human element.
cameras are so small now. I mean, we've proven it just by doing this show over the last few months. But I was talking to somebody the other day. I said, you know what? I filmed an entire talk show, and I'm not giving any kudos to Apple, but Apple iPhone 17 Pro Max, 4K quality. I plug up.
That did look good.
I did an entire talk show as the camera, and it worked great. So, but I remember last year, Apple TV had their last Friday night game was a Red Sox game, and I was watching it, and that's just when this phone came out. And Apple, being Apple, strategically placed 6 of these around Fenway Park with what we're using now is for a wireless camera setup so that you could go wireless. They plugged in wireless transmitters, and they used 6 of these during the ball game as stationary cameras, and there was no difference in the quality. So now, think about it. You use cameras it's a phone, so you take this little camera right here and you put it on a base, or you put it fixated on a base. Think about it. You're going to take the human element totally out of it and say, well, it's going to be computerized out. What do?
Now we're seeing it in basketball. We're seeing it in the NHL. We're seeing it, of course, in the NFL. You're going to see it in the
Now, somebody told me
spring
this.
football league.
I never thought of it watching the NFL this year with their new first down marker. There are chips in the football?
Yep.
See, I never thought of it, how they're getting that angle. Just kind of went over my head, me of all people with technology. I never thought of it. Somebody told me, Boots, there's chips in the football. I'm like, you're right, there has to be, to make that cross of the marker.
I feel for the officials in all sports who have to make a judgment snap decision on a pitch like that, and they get it wrong.
They said one guy was 2 for 8. He got overturned 6 times in a game.
But again, by the slightest
Yeah,
of margins.
by the slightest of margins, I agree. I don't know. I just, a guy that I'm so into technology, I don't know if I like this technology. Like I said, the pitch clock is fine, but all this second guessing the umpires or the officials, if you want to talk about the other sport, I don't know. I don't know if I could get used to it. I feel like we're the Jetsons, going into the future.
The younger generations what they think.
I'd be interested to talk about, with these kids, what they're thinking, especially these kids that are going up. I don't think college is incorporated, right? It's
Not
college,
yet. Not the ABS.
But as college, and I you know better than I do, have they incorporated a pitch clock?
Yeah, well, Division I, yes.
Division I, okay, so they've incorporated the pitch clock. That's fine. But I wonder what these younger generations, these college players, high school seniors going up, playing into the next level, what are they going to think about pitch clock? ABS, if it gets introduced into the Division I league, what are they going to think about? How are they going to change their strategy? What are these coaches going to do?
Right.
Alex Cora is a mess right now with this pitch ABS. He is a mess, and he's kind of admitted it.
I think he's trying to develop a strategy of when best to use it. Is it the later innings? Is it when you have a 3-2 count? Is it when you have runners on base at certain times? There's a whole myriad of situations where it's very much going to be part of the strategy.
Like Coach Palazzo was saying about him meshing all his coaches together, Shana and his coaching staff. Don't you think, and he did that during spring training, don't you think Alex Cora and his coaching staff during spring training should have sat down and said, hey guys, what do you think? How are we going to incorporate this
I'm
ABS?
sure they did.
But if they did a sucky job at it.
Well, so far.
they did a sucky job of coordinating it. And I'd love to see a stat, and I'm sure it's out there because everything is powered by stats now. What team is utilizing ABS to their advantage and getting the most out of it? I'd love to see that stat. It's got to be out there somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
But I'd just like to see it. And what is their, I'm sure they're not going to divulge what their strategy is and how they're going to use it, but I'd just like to see who's doing a better job at it.
Let's talk something else.
Go ahead, talk something else while I check who just texted me. It's probably Ben.
Who is the
It is
happiest person in the world right now? I have a perfect answer, I think.
The happiest person in what sport?
Well, this would be in basketball.
NBA or NCAA?
College basketball.
The coach of the South South Carolina Gamecocks.
Maybe.
Since she just beat
I
UConn.
think it is the insurer who insured Jordan's furniture situation.
We talked about that when we saw each other this morning at AJ's.
Because thanks
AJ's,
to the
by the way, great
UConn,
sponsor.
you better believe it. Thanks to the UConn women, all of that furniture is now paid for. There has to be nothing given back
Yep.
because
Thank you for the 48 points, UConn Lady Huskies.
boy, did they get thrashed.
The
by.
lowest
Holy
point
mackerel.
total of the year for them.
Who saw that coming?
And breaking a 54-game win streak in an NCAA Final Four game.
I really think Gino Auriemma would have hung them up had they won the whole thing.
I don't know. I think he still. You know what? And I thought the same thing. Believe I did think the same thing going during this NCAA run because he was so dominant and their team was so dominant. But after last night and watching his antics during the game, after the game, did you see the? I know you said you didn't see much of the game last night, but I watched the entire game, start to finish. And watching that interview with Holly Rowe after the third quarter, and if you can find it on YouTube, you got to go on YouTube and watch that interview with Holly Rowe. I've never seen a coach that animated, that vocal about officiating in a between quarters during a game on ESPN Live.
Why?
I was waiting for the F-bomb to drop. I swear to God, he was that close to dropping something you're not supposed to say.
But he
because of the
lost by
FCC.
162 points. What's the rub?
I don't think it was that. He was going off about the officials and six fouls were called in the third quarter, all on UConn, none on South Carolina. And then watching his post-game press conference afterwards, I don't think Gino Auriemma is going anywhere. I think he's going to be back.
I don't think he's going anywhere now.
After that debacle last night and what he said and how animated he was, he's still got some, I'm going to use this term, piss and vinegar in him. He's still ready to coach because he's got something to prove now. Yeah. He got his 25th appearance into the Final Four, which is an NCAA record. And he only took over in 1991. So 25 appearances in the Final Four since 1991. He's got a lot. He's going to go out on a winning note. He's not going out on a 12-point loss.
But this was his shot. He would have ended up being 35-0.
Yep.
You know, it was right there laid for him. Now he's going to give it another year, or 2, or 3, or 5.
He's got an assistant head. He's got a co-head coach.
Yeah.
He's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. I can't see him going anywhere until he wins the big one and one last time, and it feels right to win it. You know, he's going to do another 54-game win streak. He's going to get to 55.
What was your first impression of Coach Hodson when he was introduced at Alumni Hall?
Loved it. Loved the fire. I loved the fire. I watched that press conference live online, and I just love the fire this guy brings. And you know what? I love the structure he's going to bring, the accountability he's going to bring. And you know what? I can see it already because you flip through Facebook and, you watch the news reports from the local, your local news sources. And I'm just shouting this out, and I'm not giving kudos to anybody, but Go Local Prov usually has these breaking news stories quicker than anybody else. And over the last week, since he's been introduced, I've seen four players from PC throw their hat into the transfer portal.
Yep.
What's that say? What's that tell you about the team?
I can't play for him. He's too tough.
He's too tough. He's going to hold me accountable.
Yep.
I can't do this. I can't do that. He's bringing his entire coaching staff with him.
Every single one of them.
Single one.
What does that tell you about the guy? He's loyal. He's dedicated to his program.
And they believe in his program.
Exactly.
These assistant coaches believe in the process. They believe in the program. And this guy, I don't know, I've never seen a coach like that in a high school level in this area since probably a Rick Barnes, a Pitino, a Barnes, that type of guy. I wouldn't even call Pete Gillen that type of coach. I see a Barnes and a Pitino in him with that type of vigor.
Yeah, we wish him nothing but the best.
Oh, I can't wait to watch him.
Class act.
As much as I'm a URI guy because of my daughter going to URI and everything like that, I think it's going to be enjoyable to watch PC basketball again next year. URI, I don't know what they're waiting for. I don't. I guess
I think,
Archie
they're waiting
Miller's
for, I
stuck.
think they're waiting for Pat Lyons to get acclimated and do his thing.
Yeah, but I did see a report last week that Archie Miller interviewed at his
alma mater?
His alma mater.
They have.
And I'm waiting to see. I really should have followed up on it to figure out if he got the job or if they even made a choice yet. I'm sure they made a choice.
Oh, we would have
by now.
known if he had.
Well, no. I'm wondering if his alma mater made a choice yet, and if he's part of it. But I know they said there were reports that he interviewed down there. I don't know. I know the University of Albany, lost their coach to URI, and she's got that vigor. She seems to have that type of tenacity.
That Tammy Reese tenacity.
That Tammy Reese tenacity, and I don't know much about her, except for what the press has put out there. I say press, I'm sorry, the media's put out there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The media's put out there about her that she's a proven winner. Honey, you can go anywhere you want. Doesn't matter. We like the antics behind us. People are getting nervous that we're doing a TV show here. But I she came from the University of Albany, a team she's taken to the NCAA tournament a few times, at least 4 from what I read, and a proven winner at the University of Albany. And I think her assistant coaches are coming with her as well. It's going to be interesting to see how the women's team, and I don't see many transfer portal, I don't see any reports for the girls down at URI, but it's going to be interesting to see what URI.
I think the women's basketball portal opens up on Monday afternoon.
Okay, maybe it does. Oh, maybe after the season. Yep. So, just making sure Ben's not texting me.
Back to PC for just a minute.
Go ahead, sorry.
If there's someone I'd like to see succeed under Hodgson, it's Ryan Mila, who declared yesterday or the day before that he is staying at Providence College.
So that tells you.
I hope he ends up being the Big East Player of the Year.
It just proves that he's buying into Coach Hodgson's program and his process.
The 2 comments that Hodgson made at that media conference, number one was, we're going to do something a little bit different this year. We're going to play defense. I actually came out and loved it. Absolutely loved it.
So it's not going to be the 3-pointer shoot and run away?
No. It's not going to be average 92 points a game and give up 97. No. Number 2 was I took my guys in the locker room, sat them down and told them that if they're thinking of transferring from Providence College, they're going to regret that decision in 5 months.
Seen 4 of them already, at least. And I hope it comes back to bite them.
Yep.
Because and I'm not, I don't want to speak ill of Coach English, but it was the patients running the asylum.
Yeah.
It really was. If you kind of look at it that way. Yeah, inmates running the asylum, I'll say. That's the term.
Here's what I want you to do, guys. What are you doing, guys?
Oh, okay. You want to do that? Okay.
Yep.
That type of thing. And I'm going to take my turn back. The pussification of PC basketball.
By the way,
under Alex English.
I heard Scott Solak use that word. Woohoo! It's another word, too.
It's 2 of us using the pussification of sports. But yeah, I just kind of think that was under Alex, Kim English. Is the pussification of PC basketball. I didn't like it. I don't think many of the donors or the season ticket holders like that type of style of basketball.
And the brothers, after the incident involving Duncan Powell,
yeah,
the brothers were going to stand for that very much.
No, and he's going anyways, right? He was a graduate.
Yeah, he was a graduate.
He's not
student.
coming back, and
he's got
other issues to deal with now with
sadly.
the law. Yeah, and he showed his true colors with his on the court with Hopkins, in that St. John's game. So, but yeah, so PC, good luck to them. I can't wait to watch them next year. URI, fingers crossed for the men. Red Sox. I haven't really watched much of the Yankees. I haven't followed much of the Yankees, and I was watching the Lou Papadilla show before we went on the air. And he's high on him, of course, but I haven't watched much of the Yankees. I haven't really got a feel for much of the Yankees right now, so I'm kind of a Mets guy anyways. I really am, yeah. Always have been. Even after the 86 World Series. Did you watch that yesterday?
No, I did not.
That's right, you had other things going on.
Tribute to the 40-year
the 40-year, they had
40th anniversary.
the guys on the field and everything like that. Wow, the only guy missing. What do you think?
Clemens?
You got it. Nope, Boggs was there. Clemens. And I didn't even hear them mention his name. Except for during their tribute,
I was
their
gonna
video
say,
tribute.
Somewhere in the 7th inning, I think they mentioned it as well.
Did they? I know the video tribute that they did before they walked out on the field. They had obviously the 20-game strikeout against Seattle in '86, but just to see some of the names that they came out with: Win Remisol, Spike Owen, which he was a great shortstop back then. He had a good shortstop, but some of the names that they came out with, I'm like, oh wow, I remember that name. But to see Bruce Hurst and Tony Armas, Marty Barrett, Bruce Hurst, all there, and it was great to see a lot of those players walking on the field, and haven't heard their names or seen them since, but it was great. And I watched parts of the game in and out. But yeah, to see the '86 World Series. And then next year is the 20th anniversary of the '07 championships. And as Jonathan Papelbon said during the pregame, boy, we're getting old, Jim. Jim looked at him like, what? No, I am old. But yeah, that'll be fun next year to see the 20th anniversary of the '07 World Series champions.
Sox Padres later today, of course.
Yeah,
and if you're wondering what we're doing here,
yeah, we should tell them.
On a beat-up picnic table, getting ready to go to the press box here at River Point Park, the Kent County Softball Co-op, the West Warwick Tollgate Girls.
It's twice.
2 for 2. Doing all right. Not going to extend past 2.
Yeah.
But they play Cranston West. 12 noon start time here at River Point Park. Come out, catch some good local softball, or just watch it, because we'll be here.
We'll be here on 321 Media doing the show. They're doing the game. It's going to be fun. If you haven't seen them yet, like I said, I enjoy doing softball. I really do, more so than baseball, and I'm a baseball guy. Even though I'll do baseball, it's fun to watch, but it's just more exciting, I find, with girls softball.
One more break before we wrap it up?
Yeah, we're going to do one more break, Ben, and we'll come up and we'll wrap it up and talk about the next week in sports, and then we'll close it out. All right, Ben? Sounds good. We'll be right back on Settling the Score.
Welcome to Dan's Place, Rhode Island's #1 stop for amazing food, drinks, and live entertainment. Dan's Place offers a fantastic selection of unique menu items, including pizzas, pasta, steaks, and seafood. Here's what our customers have to say: a masterpiece on a crust. Watch your favorite New England teams on one of Dan's 4 big screen TVs. Looking for a great place to meet? Try Dan's Place.
I'm Dan from Dan's Place, where your only regret is not coming in sooner.
I'm Johnny Mack, General Manager here at Sandy Motors, and since 1988, we've been making car buying wicked easy for Rhode Islanders. So come with me and let's go see how wicked easy we make it when car buying. From cars, trucks, and SUVs, Sandy Motors has the selection you want at the price you want. Get approved now and see all our inventory at sandymotors.com. Every vehicle in certified condition for you to drive for many years to come. Sandy Motors, we're making car buying is wicked easy.
We've told you for years that AJ's Restaurant is Kent County's go-to spot for great breakfast, lunch, and takeout too at 828-4160. And now you'll find more parking, mere steps from the back of the building to AJ's front doors. AJ's, plenty of those world-famous home fries, plenty of parking, and as always, popular for breakfast, popular for lunch. 1365 Main Street, West Warwick.
Since 1974, Bill's Place has been serving up great times and unforgettable food. From family celebrations to post-game meals, it's the spot Kent County calls home. Right on Main Street in West Warwick, Bill's Place has been part of the community for over 50 years, and it just keeps getting better. Come see what everyone's been raving about. For takeout, call 401-828-2300 or visit us online at billsplaceri.com. Bill's Place, where tradition meets great taste.
Oh, let's go down to Toscano's. Men shop downtown Westerly, where style and class go hand in hand. You can look your best and dress to please. Buy the right shoe, get the left one free. And if Paulie makes fun of you, you get an even bigger discount too. Toscano's men's shop since 1911.
All right, back on Settling the Score with John Parenti, Johnny Boots. I love this. I actually love being out and about.
Yeah, these are remote locations.
I love these remote locations, especially at the fields, because it just kind of brings in, I don't know, the aura of doing sports talk, and then give it a little break and then going right into a game afterwards. I kind of like this. This is fun. Next week you're going to be in studio with Ben. I'll be remote. And then the week after, we're going to be at our new location, Dan's Place. So we'll be at Dan's Place.
Which is okay too.
Oh yeah, no, it's fine. No, if there's no game, we're going to be at Dan's Place. So
this kind of feels like the Lee Corso thing, the NCAA.
Oh, the NCAA with the Saturday football kickoff show at NCAA with
just
Kirk Herbstreit
come here
and
and do our thing
Lee Corso and who's this? Is this the coach?
It's the whole gang.
The whole
bunch
gang.
of them.
Do you want to?
I'm kind of looking into a glare, so there's a piece of.
It is your coach.
Come on over, Coach.
Ben, we're going to go a couple
We'll do a
minutes
little
over.
impromptu stuff.
I'm going to take my mic off, Ben. I'm going to give it to the
Have
coach.
a seat. Ladies and gentlemen, well, first of all, welcome
Mr. Parenti, how are you?
Welcome to Settling the Score.
Thank you.
I'm going to put you on the mic real quick so we can get your vocal, and we'll be good to go.
All right.
There you go.
You are live on our stream. Don't say anything about Brian Palazzo.
Brian's a great guy.
He's a great kid.
Brian's a great guy. He's been one of the guys I've leaned on since I started coaching at Cranston East 14 years ago.
PJ Reset is the head coach of the Cranston West girls softball team. It's so glad to see you.
Thank you. Same here. Same here. It's always a pleasure to see you. I've been around, I don't know how many years now, almost 50 years.
Long time. Yeah, imagine that.
Doing this for 50 years?
Imagine that. 50. This is what, 54 for me on April 19th.
God bless you.
So tell me about the Falcons. What am I going to see later on? See, we're doing this
A lot of
game.
freshmen, a lot of young. We're a young team this year. We lost our senior pitcher, senior outfielder, both first team All-Staters. Second baseman is still here. Our right fielder. Yeah, we're a young team. We got a lot of freshmen. We played Charahoe yesterday. It was 7-0, but it wasn't indicative of how the game went. Scored 3 in the first, 3 in the sixth, 1 in the middle. And I had a freshman pitcher, so we're young. We're gonna take our lumps at the beginning, and we got a good group. We got a really good group.
Thing about his group.
Yeah, and it's tough. They had the co-op, and it seems the way that youth sports and high school sports are going.
Yeah.
Not a lot of kids are playing anymore. It's kind of crazy.
And it's a combination of a lot of things.
Yeah.
I have to work. I have to support my family.
Yep.
I need to get a job to support my car, my insurance, whatever it may be. I remember a young man that I coached Legion Ball for many moons ago telling me, Coach, I can't play this summer. My girlfriend doesn't want me to play.
We don't have that. That's one thing we don't have to worry about. The boyfriends and that. The girls are really into it. Like I said, we're a young team. The weather hasn't helped out with getting on the field for practices, but we're here. 65 degrees out today. Nice day.
Yeah, it's a good day.
Yeah.
You've got one in college and one. Two in college.
Yeah,
now,
they both play for
playing.
Plymouth State. Plymouth State University. Mackenzie and Emily, they graduates of Cranston East. They were All-Staters as well. Cranston West, All-Staters. Mackenzie, she's on the Division III Player of the Year watch list. They both, Emily's the team captain for the second year. Both, I'll toot their horns for them. Both in the record books for life at Plymouth State. Mackenzie with the most stolen bases, probably going to have the highest batting average. And Emily the most walks and on-base percentage, So they've left a nice little legacy for themselves.
And there's a percent of the coaching staff as well beside you.
Yes, my daughter. She's another alumnus from
East.
From Cranston West. She went to West. It's good for her, with what she's been through, having a stroke 3 years ago, going on 3 years in June. As a 24-year-old who thinks you're going to have a stroke, and she's going for a teacher's certificate, she's getting her master's, so yeah, things are bright for her, Try to groom her to take over for me.
Things are still too much fun for you though to hang them up here.
Yeah, oh yeah, I can't.
I know you're having a ball.
I can't hang it up. It's just so much fun. These kids have a blast. I got a few girls that are hurt but still show up. well, they have a great time together. So that's why I do it. I do it to see the smiles on their faces. Try to help them get into college if they can, and some just want to play ball and have fun.
All of this is typical PJ Bissett.
Thank you, John. You're too
good luck.
kind. You're too kind. Thank you, my
Have
friend.
some fun. We are up there.
All right. Thank you.
PJ Bissett, our guest, as we wrap up another edition of Settling the Score. Where did Boots go?
Well, he took over.
He left, right? Left me alone to close it out, huh? Thanks, PJ. All right, so for Johnny Boots, for Charlie Quirk, I'm John Ferretti. Thanks to Brian Palazzo. Thanks to PJ Bissett. We'll see you next week on Settling the Score.